feel like I should feel like I should feel like I should feel like I should go. Go. Feel like I should go. Feel like I should feel like I should feel like I should feel like I should go. Feel like I should go. Feel like I should feel like should feel like should feel like I should.
Here. I should be showing the intro. What the fuck was I doing? Just getting ready here. You know, let me get ready. Shit. I thought I was showing the intro here, but nevertheless. Anyway, this is an interesting story. Yesterday, you know, we stream 24 hours a day. And so we often have some interesting panelists that join the panel. And so I think it's a good idea for sometimes we could do like a kind of a react or a replay of some of those things, kind of distill some of the things that come out on these 12-hour streams there. And so yesterday we had a Cuckold, and I guess that's what would be the term, a Cuckold and his wife that were on the panel yesterday, and they were discussing their life as, you know, living as a cuckold there. And so I figured that would be some interesting content to discuss, and HB actually interviewed the wife, so you may find that interesting. Let me make sure I get the screen up here. Give me 1 second. It's always an issue with StreamYard and the screens. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I got the right screen up here. And this was an interview yesterday with a guy named Jedi Rich and his wife, and they have some kind of a maybe I think the YouTube channel is Healthy Family Force or something to that effect. Where is it? My screen coming up? Let's see if it comes up now. Let's see what the issue here is here. Why can't I get the screen up? Let's see, visible on both. Let me just remove this and bring it back. Give me 1 second. Anyway, so this couple here, I guess you could call them a cuckold. And they were talking about their life as cuckolds and how she goes off and she does her thing in cities. And he was describing like where she's going and all of that. So I think it'll be an interesting discussion for you guys. Now, here is the screen here. No, it's not the right screen. Let me change that. Give me 1 second here. Let's see if I have. I thought I had my browser up. I do. Where's the browser here? The browser up. Give me 1 second here. Where is the browser? Oh, I do have it up. Okay, done. All right. And let's see. Make sure I got the right screen here. That's showing my desktop. Give me 1 second here. Move this out of the way. All right, cool. All right, give me 1 second. All right, there it is. All right. So here it is. Here's the guy. So before I get into the video, I'll show you a tweet from Andrew Tate. I think he put this out yesterday. So yesterday, December 27th. And he says, the real red pill about race that nobody ever says. And this is a white guy that was on our stream yesterday, not Andrew Tate, but the guy. And he says, white people are doomed to fail because they're the only race that cares what women think and say. Result, liberalism, LGBT, birth rate declines, and I think you could say this sexual freedom that a lot of women in the West have, and you'll see that later. The list goes on. He says, wife says no more babies, one is enough, and a white man agrees. In the case on the video, you're going to see the husband and wife have no children, but she's living her sexual fantasy out as many women probably would enjoy without any consequences there. And I think the thing that was this video removed? Just got a video that said, just got a message that it was removed. I hope that's not this video. Let me finish reading this Andrew Tate. Oh, damn, this was removed already. Thumbnail on video. Damn, so they removed the video. We wanted to let you know that you're to review our content if we think it violates our sex and nudity policy. So we're not applying a strike to your channel. However, we've removed the following content from YouTube, thumbnail on YouTube. So let me know if the video is still live. Maybe they just removed the the thumbnail there. The thumbnail. Hey, is the video still live? Anyone in the chat? Can you see it? Let me check YouTube, see if the video is still live here. It could have dinged me here on the thumbnail. I didn't even think the thumbnail was that bad. Let's see if we're still live here. Give me a second. This is going to be a pretty good stream here if they haven't dinged me here. Let's see what they're saying. Oh, okay. No, I guess it's still live. They just removed the thumbnail. Okay, fair enough. All right. So back to this Andrew Tate tweet here. You can disagree with this quote or not, and we're going to watch the video, see how it kind of aligns with what Andrew Tate is saying here. His genetic bloodline ends because of a female's convenience. And again, you're going to hear a video where this lady is really expressing that she's able to live her life. A black man simply will have sex with someone else. White men will never, ever, because you're the only race women can control. Women can't control brown and black men. It's why they chase us, to be honest. And you're going to hear an element of that as well. They like it. Every white woman alive fantasizes about a black man. The white man's civilization is collapsing because you're neutered by brutally ineffective females and pandering to their emotionality. And when you say this, white people get mad and they say, I'm a real man, my wife is the best, I'm a real dad, but that's all cope. Women control you, that's why you let foreigners in. It really made me think of the Camp of the Saints book when he mentioned that women control you and that's why you let foreigners in. That was more or less the plot in the book Camp of the Saints by John Raspail. And those foreigners don't listen to women, so they could outbreed you, and that is correct. You think about the people that we're allowing to come here, and they do have quite a bit of children, not the 2.2 in the white picket fence that many people in America aspire to. The winning race is simply ignore what women think completely and use them for children only. He goes on to say, have endless kids, and I will keep you alive. Do not talk to me very much, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so that's Andrew Tate's point of view. And then when you think about what we heard yesterday, here's a guy, Jedi Rich. This is the beginning of the conversation here, and we'll play a little bit of it here. And again, this is a guy that is married to a woman who is in the sex trade business.
That's right. It's better to find a wife who's an escort.
Yeah.
It's better to find a wife who's
It's
an
okay
escort.
if you want to ride around.
You don't even
Would
need.
you rather have a wife who's just
He's really, he's training Grace to be a lot lizard.
Your father, or is
My wife
it
is
better
not-
when
I'm
it's a
not her
guy
child.
that you
She'll
really
join you guys in a
like?
minute. She will come out as soon as she gets out of the shower. But she'll
Okay.
come in.
Wait, hold on.
I took Grace out of high school. She could be in college. She could be, I wish I went the corporate route,
So
but
this is the guy.
I left the corporate achiever. That's why I'm fucked up now, because I saw the wizard. I saw that the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, you saw the heroin in.
Can you ask Joy to put some lingerie on? Can she wear some lingerie maybe?
Listen, I'm gonna let you ask me what you
Oh
ask
my
for that,
God,
because
this is a
if I
freak
ask for
show.
that, I'm gonna probably get the backhand, bro.
So this is the man talking about his wife will backhand him, but he's saying that someone else can, hey, put on some lingerie for me.
Okay, I'll ask her. How long has she been? How long has she been escorting for? Well, I'll ask her.
Listen, just go to her
I
OnlyFans.
got a whole bunch of questions.
Go to her OnlyFans, buddy. Don't do that up here. She trying to get paid. You
I got
trying to
it.
get
I'm getting some new cut. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna build up the show. We're gonna build up her business. Everybody's business is gonna be built today. If you're in the escorting business,
No, you want to free. You want to
Make a lot of money.
God.
And so this is
No,
Cuckold.
for real though,
No,
honestly.
Why
Can
don't
I
they
ask
just
you a
park
question?
out in front of the bunny ranch? Why don't they just, Ben, why don't you, Grace, just go take the van and drive it and park it right outside the bunny ranch and advertise half price rates?
Okay,
They can make a fortune.
Coley, we're gonna play a quick little game. You ever watch that show, Sesame Street? Remember where they would say, "We think it's different," and why? Okay, why? Why am I different than all of you?
Because you're homosexual.
I'll tell you why. Because you're man enough to allow guys like me to
He's just a freak, isn't it?
Okay,
He's not even.
guys like Cormaster and me to bust inside your wife. That's why you're different. You're the different one.
Hey,
The
let me ask
reason
you a
he's different, hold up. We got some more answers here. The reason he's different is because he takes it in the ass.
Okay. Do you guys have kids?
No.
Can you guys hear me okay? Am I
You
coming
don't have
through?
kids?
Hello?
Yeah,
You
we
want our
can hear you,
social
Grace.
security
You
number?
got kids. You got kids. Ben's got kids. All of you guys got kids.
No, I don't have kids.
That's what makes this different. See? Like you guys are all parents, man.
Yeah, I got 20.
And so here he's showing he has no kids. He allows his childless wife to go out and just, have sex with other men and come back to him. And at one point I even asked him, I said, do you even have sex with her? Like, how can you have sex with this woman after she's been with who knows what kind of men? But he says he doesn't.
20 million kids swimming around
my friend.
He's got no kids.
That is
so
a child. You're not gonna
Wait,
do.
wait,
We're
wait,
not gonna
no,
play
man.
this.
Okay, listen.
You believe a guy could cut his penis off? Don't
I
you believe
can
it's
cut his penis off. It's not something.
Listen, that's a big YouTube not to talk subject they don't like talking about. I guarantee you that.
Okay.
Fucking
Okay.
sucks.
All right.
Like chicks with.
Okay, now you see. Okay, I want to observe something. Do you notice
He did
all
it. Nah.
about homosexuality? What they say makes me different is they what they think is it's sexuality. They think it's the way I have sex, and that's a fact. The way we determine species,
Told you 12 man. He's a homo.
how they have sex.
I know it, man. I knew it a while ago.
So it's a very, very funny thing that you guys would point out. Like,
So do you sleep with
dead people.
How do you do it? Will you wait till they just die?
Wait.
Man, these fucking niggas talk over everybody. I know it's fucking pissing me off.
Wait.
Is that I had this, maybe you should have watched it on my other channel, but you see, we are.
Oh, you're talking too much. Shut up, Grace. Let's hear from this
When I
white.
get back on the other channel, I'm gonna make sure we lay down the rules. These fucking niggas can't keep talking over people. I hate that shit.
Angel here.
It sounds like, dude, are you on heroin, man? You talk like a dude who's on heroin right now.
Yeah. Grace, how was your day today?
These fucking niggas really just talk. They can't have a fucking conversation. Really pissing me off.
I talk like a man that's about ready to talk to Joy and to get her panties wet. That's what I talk like.
Joy is the man's wife. He's talking to the man who's married to this woman. He's talking to her like she's a streetwalker or something, I guess, in some cases.
Think about it.
Yo, that guy.
Like many other men have made her panties wet.
Okay, so you guys are saying you've never jerked off to another girl, like or had sex with another woman, or never jerked off.
I mean, look how he's justifying this. This might be worse than the actual act.
Porn, looking at another woman other than the woman that you're with. You've never done that.
That's none of your business, faggot.
Oh yeah, it is. You're here, man.
Left hand or the right?
The warm up act. Here comes the main show. Center stage.
You think that bitch weighs 6?
Backing off, I think.
This is the.
Hello,
Hey,
everyone.
Joy.
So here's the
I had
wife.
no
right
idea
here.
you guys were gonna like ask me right when I'm in the shower. So, yeah, but it worked out because I needed to shower anyway, so it better come on after I shower.
Joy, I believe Spicoli has some questions for you. He's promised to be very respectful, but I'm not sure we can guarantee that.
I can handle it.
All right.
Hi, Joy.
Spicoli?
Hello.
Joy, I understand that you've been a courtesan, whatever. I've been understand that you've been basically an escort for a while. Your husband says. How many years has it been? I'm curious.
12 years.
12 years. Okay. So 12 years you've been doing it. And basically, I have a few questions. I'm in the Palm Springs area, and I was thinking that it might be pretty good content. Think about this. I'm a filmmaker.
What you
Let's
got?
say I were to meet, let's say I'm only an hour flight away from Vegas and Palm Springs. Let's say in February, the Thorpes came out, and I wanted to document Ben meeting you, meeting Rich, and meeting even Hormaxer. We'll document it. We'll stream it. We can stream it to everybody's channels, except mine. No. And what we'll do is, I want to Ben. Obviously, you know.
Let's
Ben,
talk turkey here. You got 10
basically,
grand, 20
I
grand,
want
30
Ben,
grand.
Be quiet, please. Let me interview her. Then you can. What would be the possibility for content purposes that as a documentary filmmaker, I could film just like that guy who did the documentary on the chick, Lily Phillips, that was with 100 guys. I would want you and Ben to get together, and then we talk about it beforehand. We have Rich there giving his input. And then after you and Ben have an experience together, maybe an hour or two, we also interview you afterwards, and we get good content out of it, and everybody's happy. It's win-win for everybody. Maybe I even get a little fucky fuck on the side, whatever. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is think about the possibilities. We can do something, we can do groundbreaking work here that nobody's ever done.
Again, this is the American man negotiating to have sex with another man's wife, and she's just giggling. He's dead ass serious, talking about filming another man having sex with it. I mean, it's just, can you imagine an Arab man even allowing his wife to get on film and talk to some foreign man that he doesn't know and she doesn't? It wouldn't be allowed. And again, this is what Andrew Tate is talking about here.
And we're doing it all legitimately. Rich is being a big sport about
something that I am okay with. That would be more a question you would have to ask Ben for than me. Like I am okay.
And you see, she's answering for her husband, the entire family. So I'm okay with it. She didn't even look to her husband for approval or validation. I'm okay with it.
Wanting to hire me. That's what I do. The question is more, does the person want to hire me and want to be filmed in such a scenario? Because that's what I do for a living. I'm the one that's comfortable with that. I don't think Ben would necessarily be. And if Ben was, then I would be fine with it.
How much are you charging?
I will not discuss my rate on this channel.
My dad says he's very shy in that area. So.
Yeah, I think it's super slow. So it would have to be, you'd have to hire for like 20,000 hours.
Yeah.
Like a
So it's 10 grand?
Most people are not very comfortable with a short scenario. Something that you guys are talking about, like someone you just
can't talk money. Obviously, we can't talk money or anything like that. All that has to be arranged. And as far as anybody knows,
yeah, Hormaxer would be this collab. You know,
we're doing it for content. So let's say
it would be really entertaining for everyone, I'm sure. People would go nuts about that.
Nobody's done this.
We'd read the Bible, maybe, and things like that.
Probably want to see two
nobody has
monkeys.
done this yet. Nobody has done this. I guarantee you, nobody has on YouTube.
I guarantee no one has done this. Yeah, I guarantee.
Roy, what about
you right about that? Nobody's done it.
What about a Bible reading stream with my dad?
What? Say again.
A Bible reading stream.
Yes, I'm actually very good at that too. I grew up a Christian. I know all the books of the Bible by heart.
You could do the thing. You could pass. I have what I call the Home for Wayward Hoes, where women have to obey me for a while.
Boo.
The program.
You think you could do that?
No,
yeah,
I think you could pass the flying colors.
Yeah, it's like a boot camp sort of for women.
Well, I've been through real boot camp, so I think I can handle Ben's boot camp.
Wow.
She would
Let me
pass
ask you a question though. Well, hold on, Ben. You're attracted to Joy, obviously. So Ben, Joy made it sound like it's up to you. Ben, she said it's up to you. Basically, it sounds like Joy's for it, Rich is for it. I'm obviously for it. So Ben, the ball's in your court. There's some possibility. We've got some wiggle room here. I feel like I'm negotiating between the Israelis and
the man is not even in the picture, her husband.
Yeah, are y'all gonna be slapping dicks as well?
Ben, this is up to you now, Ben.
Are you gonna tongue kiss Ben, buddy? Is it gonna be
I'm trying to get with Aphrodite right now.
Meet out Joy's virginity. Here's what you're gonna do. Let's start raising donuts now. Go to the Thorpe channel. If you're on the Thorpe channel right now, start raising money. Let's raise money for the Vegas trip. Let's raise money for the Vegas trip. Let's raise. Let's raise.
What do you like most about being an escort?
What I like is the
So
freedom.
at this point, HB interviews the woman, and you'll hear some interesting discussion here.
Of like I get to decide, like for one thing I decide who I see. People think that just because you have money you get to see me. No. You should have to pass my test first. Like I don't see people that are rude and disrespectful. So you have to first text me and I have to like you. I often tell people, they're like within a couple of texts, I'm like, I'm not interested. They're like, why? I don't like you. And they're like shocked by that.
Joy, I had an interesting question. I know people ask you about this like stuff all the time, so I get it if you're just like bored of it. But I did have an interesting question. Okay, this is not to offend Rich at all, but did you ever have a meetup where like you genuinely kind of fell in love with a guy even before Rich or anything like that? Like, did you ever like?
My client refused to answer that question.
Definitely before. So I'll explain something. So before Rich, definitely. I had a couple of like heartbreaks, I guess you would call it, because I was in the Air Force and I had a guy that I was pretty much going to marry, and then my mom died, and so that was like my first love. And then I had a couple. I would say I had like two more in between Richard that were kind of like, you know, the guys, oh, you know, crazy about when you're young. And I wasn't like, okay, so I grew up religious where I was anti-sex, and then there came a point after my mom died, I wouldn't say I was like a whore, but I wouldn't say I was like, if like I liked a guy and we got on, we would have sex. I wasn't one of those girls that like held out for, you know, a million things in order to have sex with me, but I also wasn't like super easy, like, but I definitely was like pretty open with sex, like after my mom died, but because my mom was pretty anti-sex. So I think if my mom hadn't died, I wouldn't have ever even dreamed of.
But you ever fell in love? Because that's what she asked you.
Yeah, so I fell in love, and so what I'm saying is like, but then when me and Rich got together, like we both kind of were like at a time that both our parents had died, and we kind of came together in a time that we, I don't know, needed each other, and so our love kind of grew. Like I wouldn't say like we first were like head over heels for each other, kind of thing. Does that make sense? But we like needed each other, and then now like of course he's the love of we've been together for almost 13 years. We've been married for 11 years this January, and I don't know. I would never leave him. And we didn't start like I wasn't a sex worker when we got together. We did this job together, and he had.
So she became a sex worker after they were married.
Plenty of successful business. I knew Richard when I first met Richard. He owned the convenience store where I used to buy my beer, and he owned other stuff too. I didn't know that at the time, but so like I knew him as like super successful, and he lived in the building.
Vegas? Was this in Vegas?
No, this was in Portland. I'm from California, and Richard's from Oregon.
In the Air Force.
Can I ask you a question, Joy? Like, you ever think about getting back to like some of your more? Because your good looks ain't gonna last forever. You know that, right?
Right. But here's the thing. That's why
get back more into your professional career, like whatever.
Out of that, like, cause I did a bunch of stuff. So when I got out of the Air Force, I was in real estate for many years, and then I also helped these doctors open a knee injection clinic. That I was their only employee, and I was like, I did everything for their business, and it's called Reflex. They now have like 5 offices in Oregon. And so I like business is like easy to me. That's like I get in real estate like that. I don't want to.
So
I have no
are you
bullshit and red tape and paperwork and nonsense and dealing with assholes who only pretend to like do sexual stuff like to you, but then it's like a tease, and then like you have to deal with that shit at work. Where I'd rather just pay me and we get over.
Well, are you at least in?
And every day I get smarter. Because guess
YouTube's
what?
not a future, man.
Hey, sir, I have way more of a future than you do, so I want you to shut the fuck up on futures.
My future's already settled.
Oh, really? Are you the one that has no wife, that has slept with 500 women that you're bragging about, and you pay them McDonald's sandwiches, or you sleep with them for a year? And are you the one? I don't know. I'm trying to recognize the voice. But if that's the case, sir,
you don't have the brain.
You have the brain stuff. For one thing, just the fact that you think because I'm a sex worker that I don't have a brain, you are the most piggish man I have ever met in my entire life.
And you will get old.
Doesn't mean I'm a moron.
You will get old, and you will get old, and men will lose interest in you.
I'm not worried about it, because guess what? I'm married, and I have other stuff set up for my life. Thank you for your advice from a moron who can't get laid, except for the girls who want a McDonald's sandwich. Those girls are not the girls anybody wants to fuck.
When you got charm, it don't cost nothing.
All right. Hey, wait, Joy. I got 12 men out of here. All right.
Yeah, 12 men. Get out of here.
I didn't want that to happen.
Understand that no guy gets pussy for free, you guys. No one ever. If you do, that's the most disgusting girl on the planet. You don't want a girl and you can't. If she will fuck you for nothing. That means she's homeless and desperate.
That part.
Joy, let's get back to you said
homeless women don't fuck for free. They fuck for drugs.
You said you had certain standards. What are your standards for?
For one thing, that guy who I was talking to would never get a chance to fuck me, not if he had $1 million fucking dollars. because I don't care how much money. It's not about money for me. It's about providing for my family. And I don't see disgusting men.
So this is how she provides for her family. This man truly must be cucked to eat the food and live in the home provided by her sleeping with other men. But this is the way of the world today. It's all for content, and I don't know. There's very little morals being involved here.
So that's my standard, is you seriously have to be someone with some class.
No,
like,
wait,
I
so-
don't see disgusting pigs.
This
like,
was kind of
more gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, literally, within the first 2 texts, I know if I'm going to see you or not just by how you interacted with me in the first texts. You know what I mean? It's like treat me like I'm a human. Some people are just like, right, half hour, no, like just they'll give me like acronyms and not even like you know, and you're like, seriously, is that how you would try to get laid with a normal person? I mean, act like I'm a normal girl that you still have to win me over even if you have money.
Wait, Joy, that's exactly what my question was earlier. I think you kind of missed the point of it. And it's fine if you don't want to talk about it. It's totally fine. I'm just curious. Do you ever have a connection with
Oh, right. You were going to, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so yes. Sorry, I was getting that, and then I went, so there's so many deep things. So what it is there are certain people that, yes, I do get a connection with. And Richard knows all about those people. Like, me and Richard talk about those people. There's
Yeah, that's fucking amazing right there. She's sitting around talking with the men she slept with her husband.
only a couple of them that it's more because I've spent more time with them. So I prefer to not see clients as often. Like, I'd rather see them very rarely, because it does start to get weird because you know them so personally. But some of the people, definitely, if I was not married, yeah, you'd meet people that you're like, I would be with this person in a different life. Like, they're cool enough, but a lot of the people are kind of lame. But some of them, yes, are cool enough, and definitely in New York. In New York, 100%. And I had a client that I used to see 3 times a day, and all we did was watch porn. That's all he paid me to do, was watch porn with him. And which is something me and Richard used to do, which was weird for me at first, because that was something me and Richard did. Like, that was weirder
She
than
found something she enjoyed doing with a man who probably has more money than Richard.
sex, was watching porn with someone, because that would seem more intimate, because we used to do that. And he would pay me for like 5 hours to watch porn with him 3 days a week. And so you start to really like get to know somebody, you know what I mean? And there's certain people, and then there's a client that I've been seeing for years that I see at least once a month for years.
Do you still watch porn today, or is it just something?
I only would watch porn if I was high, to be honest, or drunk, because at this point I just don't find it that entertaining. But I used to like cocaine, and I used to like drinking, and I don't do either of those things anymore. I only smoke weed, and with weed I'm not that into porn. But yeah, when I used to drink and when I did lines, yeah, I watched a lot of porn.
Wait, speaking of the porn, what stops you from getting into the porn industry?
I don't actually. Well, for one thing, I'm too old. Let's put that right there. I started when I was 28 in the industry of the sex industry. Most girls start in porn at like 18. But the other thing is, I didn't really like having everyone see what I was doing. This is new, where everyone knows what I'm doing. For about 11 years, no one knew. We were just kind of doing this underground. And so now it's kind of new to be like, hey, look at this, what I do, you know? And so I was not as comfortable with like the full exposure of porn. And I'm always like kind of patting those girls on the back, because people don't give enough credit and we just harass them. But like, without them, there'd be no porn. When guys be like, oh, I got porn. Well, guess what? A girl had to be there to make that, unless you, or a guy, whatever you're into, or both, or whatever. But I'm just saying, a person had to make, hopefully it's a person, hopefully no one's like dogs. So, a person had to make it that you're saying, oh, that person's so disgusting, I wouldn't hire that person, but I'll jack off to him.
My dad has a question.
I have a question for you. Like, a lot of these girls now, right? So there's like the OnlyFans thing, where a lot of them feel like they're better than you because they only, let's say, do stuff with the camera or with their boyfriend.
Yeah.
And you would be doing, I would call it more like old school or traditional prostitution, where they're doing like kind of pornography.
Right.
And I think actually you could make the argument that what you do is more natural, because you're preserving the intimacy of the act. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Like, I don't really like it being filmed. Some of my clients will film it. I'm not really that into it. We do a little bit, but I prefer it to just be like something like a normal thing, like Ben's saying.
Yeah, I got a question.
Don't you feel like cock teasing men for money is kind of, and then having them jerk off, it's kind of like not delivering the goods, at least.
Right. No, I did.
Why
I
would
tried
you feel that way?
MFC. You guys know MFC, My Free Cams. I did that for like 3 months and I hated it because I was like, it's just not my thing. I've never been a stripper, so I'm not a tease. Like Ben's saying, I don't like that thing of like, and I also don't like the amount of people that you have to interact with for like not even near enough money is like it's weird. So it's like, but girls like that of like these. So it's in a way, it's way more disgusting. I'm seeing the stuff that came through on my webcam. The comments are the most disgusting things I've ever seen. And I've been doing this job for years and never seen anyone say such vulgar things. And those girls put up with that shit all day just to and they think they're better than me, like Ben's saying. So it is kind of weird because it's really lowbrow. Like the webcam stuff is really lowbrow.
You have to actually.
I got like two questions.
A human being.
I got two things at once.
Yeah. I have two questions. So, do you consult younger girls, and if so, what do you tell them?
I have never consulted younger girls because I don't actually think that anyone should get in my line of work unless you need to. Like, it's not something I'm like, oh, when you're young, hey, you should really strive to do this. I really don't think so, but I don't think that it's like the worst thing if like some girls, like don't be a janitor, like because my mom was a janitor and my mom was beautiful and she was so religious and I cleaned my.
What's wrong with being a janitor? Is a janitor beneath a sex worker?
School as a kid because my mom wanted to go to a private Christian school, but I had to clean it because we couldn't afford it. And my family was beautiful, and they were just so against. And I'm just like, Mom, you could have like got money so much easier, but.
Why don't you think girls should get into it?
Because you're scorned for the rest of your life. So like you got to make the decision. Like, do I want everyone to be like, put the scarlet letter on you for real? Like, no, my family doesn't even talk to me now, like the ones that are still alive. My mom and brother are dead, the ones I really liked. But everyone who's still alive don't want to talk to me. And
wow. She lost her whole family for prostitution. I didn't know this.
It's primarily because of my job. Because I know if I went and interacted with my family, the first thing they want me to do is change my job.
If you got big on YouTube to the point where you're making a living, would you want to stop?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not like, oh, I want to do this forever. It's my passion. It's more out of necessity. Yeah. But I get people are like, oh, you guys.
She's married. She has a husband, and she has to do this out of necessity. How must that make that man feel? If she packs up her bag, heads out to meet with some John, and she's doing it out of necessity. Man, that's something there.
To get other jobs, but we don't want to go work lame ass jobs. Because I don't have a college degree. I went in the Air Force, so it's like I'm gonna have to get a really lame job, and I don't want to do that. And we need to be here for Annette. My sister-in-law has schizoaffective disorder, so I'm working to pay for the bills of my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. And they want us here in the house so that it's really lonely without us here. And so if me and Richard both got normal jobs, they would just be home alone.
Yeah, I feel like these questions are really self-serving because they're asking really shallow.
Damn, nigga.
But listen, sweetheart, I just wanted to know, would you take, let's say, $100K for somebody you don't like, who's grotesque to you, who you just, disgusting, evil person, over...
Oh, what you say? I will not take. Early on, I remember I was listening to Iggy, that singer, and she was a hooker. If you guys don't know that, Iggy was a hooker, and a lot of her music is talking about. That's why it's called "Fancy," the one song, because that's a reference to the Reba McEntire song called "Fancy" about her mom making her a prostitute. And so, in one of her lyrics, she says, "Don't ever turn down money." And I remember thinking that was good advice, and then I was like, "That's the worst advice you can ever hear." You should always turn down money when it's the wrong thing. Like, do not do anything that you're not comfortable with for money. That is the worst thing. Like, don't be like, oh, but there's enough money. If it is not something you're comfortable with. So yeah, in this job, I will turn down someone with tons of money who's an asshole for someone who's nice with less money, or I will just turn down both if they're complete assholes. And Richard will sometimes get mad, like if we're in a bind, like, wait, I'm like, I'm not, sorry, I'm not seeing either of those turds or whatever, you know, whatever the scenario is.
It almost said like he encourages her when they're in a bind. She said, no, I don't want to do it. She's more of the moral compass in the relationship than he is.
Not until there's someone that can show me some respect. And I don't require much, you know, it's not like, you just can't be an asshole, you know what I mean?
But you're not comfortable with prostitution as a whole. You're doing it for money.
I'm comfortable with anybody who does it. If it's their choice, then I'm fully comfortable with it. I just say, what I'm saying is, if you do it, you are going to be scorned by society. So I don't recommend a young girl to take that leap and then ruin the rest of her life, because like her family is going to hate her, everyone forever.
But I think his question is, just regardless of the societal, let's pretend society's not a part of it. Do you actually have a problem with it in and of itself?
Oh no.
Or
no.
is it just the society?
I mean, they claim this is the first job that ever existed, because that's what men first wanted to pay for, is sex. So like basically they say the first job in existence was courtesan. Like I don't know if you look like in history, because that once men had money, they decided they wanted to pay for sex. So I think women used to actually be respected. The courtesan thing, they were like high in the court, where like people were respected in this job, but not anymore.
But don't you realize that in every society throughout history, the worst thing you can call a woman is a whore?
Yeah. Right, because men, it's a man thing. It's the thing that men think that they can shame a woman by calling her that, because it's the one thing they think they can like hold over a woman. But here's the thing, men brag about how much they get laid, but then they'll shame a woman for how much she gets laid.
Right, because what you call a guy is an F slur, right? That's the worst thing for a man, because isn't it the idea is like, and this I wonder about your part, were they just negative?
You guys want to hear something really funny? I did the True Love Waits. Have you guys ever heard of True Love Waits? It's you take this vow that you're gonna wait till marriage, and I did it with my church and everything, and I got a ring and everything. Yeah, I broke that, but but yeah, no, my parents were like hardcore. My dad has only had sex with 2 women, and that's his 2 wives, and my mom the same thing, or her 2 husbands, and my mom already died, so she died with having sex with 2 people. My dad is definitely going to die having sex with 2 people. And they are that's why my dad won't talk to me. So yeah, I'm 100% rebelling. But like I said, it's because my mom killed herself. So I kind of, 100% rebel.
What I'm saying,
her mom killed herself. Yeesh.
I think a lot of Christians think of sex negatively as like a bad thing. But maybe you want it to be the opposite of that and really say sexuality is a beautiful thing, but like maybe you, in a certain sense, you know what I mean? Like the pendulum swung all the way to the other side.
Yeah.
And there's a happy place in between.
Yeah.
They're asking some pretty provocative questions in the chat. I don't know if you're ready for that, prepared for that. But
I'll just answer when I feel comfortable, so you can ask me. I won't be offended when you ask.
Sexually, what's your what's probably like your go-to or your like best attribute sexually?
I've been told my whole life since I've been doing this. So like right away, and I don't know why, but right away I was told I gave the most amazing blowjob. Like when I was young, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know, but I used to read Cosmo magazine, and they would tell you exactly.
Imagine being the husband here to this shit.
Like what to do, and I would read the tips when I was young, and my mom would not allow that magazine, so I would sneak reading this magazine, and I don't know yet because I was.
Cosmo is like a mainstream magazine. She's reading about giving head in Cosmo. Damn.
Interested in it, I guess, when I wasn't allowed, and so like my first boyfriend was like, "Wow, you're stellar at that." And so when I was in the Air Force, I did get that reputation for I wasn't like sleeping with everybody, but you have enough boyfriends that it gets around. So.
This is why they don't need women in the military.
So this really kind of started in the Air Force, where you kind of got a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Well, because it's like, okay, it's 19% women. It would usually be like 20 men and me. So like often, like even when we go to a hotel, I often would be in a hotel with like 6 guys and me. And it wasn't an orgy, but almost. Seriously, because we were young, it was like everybody's drunk, and it's like, Everybody, literally, I remember one time like 5 guys like trying to pull on me in different directions, and it was
Damn, I missed out on. I should have stayed in the military. The orgies.
We weren't having sex, but like you know, people were trying to be sexual, but it's like, okay, what's going on? And I was young and didn't know what was going on.
Well, so how did that make you feel that like all these guys in one room all were, you know, kind of aroused?
Well, here's the thing: when I was young, I had no self-esteem. So I've struggled with eating disorders my whole life, and I recovered from bulimia. But when I was young, I struggled with bulimia, so I was always super insecure. And so I did not think I was attractive at all. But then in the Air Force, they have pretty low standards. So you're like, you're like a 10 when you're a 2 there. I mean, did I say that right? Yeah. And so for me, I was just like soared there. I was like, this is the best thing ever. And then it kind of helped my self-esteem. I still don't think I'm a 10. But it's funny because people are like, well, you're an escort and you have the confidence to do it. Yeah, but like, you'd be surprised the competition out there. I don't have to. Yeah. I look great compared to most of the competition, so I ain't worried, you know.
Well, why did you have low self-esteem to begin with? Why did you have low self-esteem from your parents?
You know, I don't know what it was really. Because when I look back, I'm like, I shouldn't have. But I think a lot of people struggle with that when they're young. But I know my mom was super weight conscious. So that I struggled with like all my life, like thinking I needed to be super thin, and then
because Grace had kind of low self-esteem when she.
By the way, guys, if you want to see this, this is on the River of Flakes stream from yesterday. Looks like it's about at the 10-hour mark, 11 hour mark. If you want to see the full conversation,
asexual.
I felt really bad. I wanted to write now positive, and I still continue to like them. And then just one moment because it came to me that and everything I said, and I feel like I said mind out of body experience because when you get jealous, you just
hate that. Because I remember I didn't take it personally.
Jealous, I don't know why. I was just like I don't know what it was because I don't normally get jealous. I was just like excited when I got, you know, and I can see why people hate. It's just out of jealousy, 100%.
Yeah. Facts.
Hey Joy,
Thanks, Joy.
There's a lot of black guys in the chat. What do you feel about?
I think this is going to be an interesting question and answer session here. It kind of goes back to what Andrew Tate in that tweet that we showed earlier. Where is that tweet? Andrew Tate says what he says. Women can't control brown or black men. Is why they chase us. To be honest, they like it. Every white woman alive fantasizes about a black man. HB just asked a question.
About black guys.
I definitely see black guys. If that's the question, I get asked that all the time. I see black guys. I do not discriminate in any way that way. Like I would never not see someone for any race that I do not. So you're all evaluated exactly the same. So in the sense of how you text me, like
equality.
So you just have to all act.
Do you think black people are better at having sex generally? Because I do. I think that's probably.
This is my opinion of black people. I think black people are very, very good at having sex, and men are very romantic. Black men are very romantic, but they do not want to pay. Black men do not like to pay at all. They never want to pay, so they never ever want to pay. So it's I very rarely see black men. But yeah, you guys are very good. Because I think you guys usually have big cocks. Let's be serious. So yeah, I don't want to pay, but you should pay me is what I hear all the time.
You black.
Wow.
All right, that's a good place to end it.
Anyway, guys, that was a I guess you could say a cuckold couple there. And then it probably was a very interesting conversation. I was not there doing it, so HB was kind of running the chat there, so he was asking the questions. But again, we stream 12 hours a day, and that is just one of the interesting conversations that I figured we would kind of distill it here. But back to Andrew Tate and the men not being able to control their women and things like that. And the white women fantasizing about black men, I mean, that shit was amazing. But there it was, guys. And if you want to see more of that, oh, you know what? Before we go, I had a question for her before I left the stream. No, I had a question for Jedi Rich before I left. Let's see. And I think it is here. I think it's here, right? So let me see if I can show that. Give me 1 second. And you might find this question for Jedi Rich that I had interesting. Let's see if I can find it one more time. Okay, this is it. Let me scroll up a bit. Let me see. I think this is it.
Game.
Okay, all right.
That's the game.
All right, let me make sure I'm sharing my screen. And yeah, okay, I am. So where is that? This is Jedi Rich. I think I had a question for him here.
Whatever, but I'm talking about what, like more of a kind of a social like standpoint, like why we do it, like why we're here, you know. And it's like, I don't know.
Y'all are still doing it because it makes good money. That's why y'all doing it. And
well, it makes money, but it's
9
also
to 5. Why should she work at McDonald's when she's making better money than everybody else? She makes more money than everybody on this panel, nigga.
Jedi Rich, are you still attracted? Do you still have sex with your wife? Like when she comes back?
Hell
yeah, he do. I bet you bust that shit down.
Think about sexuality.
Good at it too.
Think about sexuality. You know, that's a great John. That is a great question, John. That is a great question. That is an absolutely great question, because you would think that you'd become less attracted to somebody who is like over the time, especially if they're having sex, you know, blah blah blah. But what I've learned as a male, and this is new to me, is that sexuality is something it's not necessarily all visual. There's a certain let's call it magic, but it's probably more like pheromones or something that happens. No, I'm not kidding. That a female, like just her pinky, can all of a sudden, whoa, I'm in the, like she, like, you know what I mean? It's like she controls it. Like, so her sexuality oozes out. So I get turned on, not because of what she did or anything, because she can do it. She knows how to do it. Now, if a woman represses herself and doesn't have sex or thinks it's disgusting or whatever.
And that was pretty much the question that I had for him. I don't know if I could be attracted and want to have sex with a woman that just came back in from a rendezvous with who knows who. Just wouldn't be the thing for me. But anyway, that was yesterday. Again, a great stream yesterday, a great interview by HB. And once again, guys, we stream 24 hours a day, so make sure you support the channel. Again, Jungle HB, Stanley Cross, our wonderful editor, Portia J. Get Cracked, giving the investment advice there.
Feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should go. Go. Feel like I should go. Feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should go. Feel like I should go. Feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should. Feel like I should go.